Hi there, I'm Jonas from Awesome App Tools, and I want to briefly show you this little app that I created recently, and it was actually presented to me as a code test for a front-end developer job that I applied for. So it said, make a list of wine bottles, a detailed view, and the option to add wines to the list. And the code is on GitHub here, and here's the actual app running in development mode on my local host. And here's the list, right? And the list is now sorted by this column. It can also be sorted by the other properties. And the wines are just completely random names that I made up, and you can click any one of them and you get a detailed view. And if you would update this comment and write something else, I can't type, there you are, then it actually remains there, right? So if we click the same wine again, the comment is there, and let's try to add one, right? So here we are in the add wine view. Let's make it extremely old and write some nonsense, and here we are now. It's on the top of the list here, and naturally it's possible to delete wines again. So if you click the delete button, you're asked to confirm that, and let's go ahead and confirm it, and it's gone. Boom, right? Now let's have a look at the code. Like I said, I'm actually running this in development mode right now with the npm run dev command, and if you take a look at the code here, then what that actually does is it uses browserify to go to the file called main.js, which then packs all the dependencies together into build.js. And the same thing would actually happen in the production version with the build job, just with different settings, but it's basically the same entry point and the same file that the code ends up in. So let's have a look at the entry point here, main.js. We're using Vue.js for the user interface. It's a bit similar to React, but first I want to have a look at the core functionality, which is here, and we've got some classes here, and it all starts in this class called app. It's containing class, and it's quite simple. It just really contains a list of wines, which is then another class called wine list, and that contains most of the functionality. You can get a wine by its ID. You can add wines. You can remove a wine by its ID. You can update an existing wine, and you can sort them with on different properties. And then here's the actual wine, which is also fairly simple. It's just an object with some properties and the option to update it. So what happens here is I just import those classes, and then I create a list of wines, which is completely random, just a random mix of all these properties here. So every time you load it, you get different random wines on your list. Completely made up wines, by the way. And so what happens here is you import the user interface and then instantiate that, and let's go and have a look at that. So here's the containing component, and you can organize Vue.js code in different ways. This is called a single file component, where you put first the script in, the actual JavaScript, and then you got the markup in a template tag. And the markup has all sorts of directories and two-way data binding and whatnot. And eventually you can include some styling also, and you can make the styling scoped so that the styling only applies to this component and nothing else. And so this is just the list, right? And actually, when it's in development mode, then we've got called hot module reload. So if I would change something here, just add an exclamation mark, and then that happens, boom, immediately over here, right? And you see here that the module updated over here in the console. Let's remove it again, and it's gone. Right, so this is the containing UI component, just with a list of wines that can be sorted. And let's go over in the wine detail component over here. You just basically import that component here, and then you refer to it later as a custom tag. And here we are. And I'm actually using this custom tag twice, once for the wine detail and once for add wine. And if I'd continue working on this, I would actually split that in two and say, let's have one component for detail view and one for adding or updating an existing wine. So again, here is various JavaScript and some markup and a little bit of styling. And I don't suppose there's a whole lot to say about that, just that, that's what you see when you click either there or there. That's just about all I had to say, right? There is a blog post about this, which is fairly short, and then the repository on GitHub. Thanks for watching. Bye.